Hello, future biologists. Welcome to an exciting journey into the human body. Today, we are diving deep into the Digestive System chapter for ICSE Class 9 Biology. Our specific focus: the amazing liver, structure and functions. We'll explore this vital organ from its basic anatomy to its complex roles, progressing through easy, medium, hard, and hardest levels of understanding. Get ready to unlock the secrets of your body's most versatile organ. Let's kick things off with the basics of the liver. Think of it as your body's main processing plant. What does it look like, and what are its most important jobs? The liver is truly a giant among organs, the largest internal one, nestled comfortably in the upper right part of your belly, just under your ribs. It's a reddish-brown color, a reflection of its rich blood supply. Structurally, it's neatly divided into two main sections, or lobes, a larger right lobe and a smaller left lobe. Imagine these lobes as big rooms, and within these rooms are even smaller, functional units called lobules. These lobules are where much of the liver's incredible work actually happens. So, remember, a lobe is a major division, and a lobule is a tiny, active subdivision within it. Now, let's talk about what this powerhouse organ actually does. For digestion, its star role is producing something called bile. Bile is a greenish-yellow liquid that's super important for breaking down fats in your food, much like how dish soap breaks down grease. But the liver isn't just about digestion, it's also your body's personal detox center. It filters out harmful stuff from your blood, like medications and alcohol, making them safe. Plus, it's a fantastic storage unit, tucking away extra sugar as glycogen, ready to release it when you need a burst of energy. And where does all this blood come from? Two main pipes: the hepatic artery brings oxygen-rich blood, and the hepatic portal vein delivers blood full of nutrients, straight from your digestive organs. Time to test your understanding. Here are 3 quick questions. First, what is the largest internal organ in the human body? Second, name the 2 main lobes of the liver. And third, what is the primary digestive function of the liver? Take a moment to think about these and see if you can recall the key points we just discussed. Ready to dive a bit deeper? At the medium level, we'll explore the liver's more intricate structure and expand on its many vital functions, revealing why it's truly a chemical factory for your body. Let's refine our understanding of the liver's gross anatomy. Beyond the main right and left lobes, anatomists also recognize 2 smaller lobes, the caudate and quadrate, making it a 4-lobed organ. Tucked neatly beneath the right lobe is the gallbladder, a small but important companion organ. Its job is to store and concentrate the bile that the liver produces, releasing it when needed. Now, zooming in, the true magic happens at the microscopic level, within what are called hepatic lobules. These are often described as hexagonal units, each with a central vein at its core and portal triads at its corners. These tiny structures are packed with specialized cells called hepatocytes, which are the liver's workhorses, performing most of its metabolic tasks. Within these hepatic lobules, the hepatocytes are arranged in plates, like spokes radiating from the central vein. Between these plates are special, leaky capillaries called hepatic sinusoids. This unique design allows blood from both the hepatic artery and portal vein to mix and flow in direct contact with the hepatocytes, facilitating efficient exchange of substances. And here's a cool detail: within these sinusoids are specialized immune cells called Kupffer cells. These are like tiny bouncers, engulfing bacteria, old red blood cells, and other debris, keeping your blood clean. So, the liver isn't just a filter, it's also an immune defender. The liver's functions extend far beyond just making bile and filtering toxins. It's a master of metabolism. For carbohydrates, it's like a blood sugar thermostat. It can store excess glucose as glycogen, release glucose from glycogen when you need energy, and even make new glucose from other sources. In protein metabolism, it synthesizes crucial plasma proteins like albumin, which keeps fluid balanced in your blood, and clotting factors, essential for stopping bleeding. It also processes amino acids, converting their nitrogen into urea, a waste product. And for fats, it's a factory for cholesterol and other lipids, and can convert extra carbs and proteins into fats for storage. Truly a multitasking marvel. Now, let's challenge your knowledge with 5 questions at the medium level. First, what is the small organ located beneath the liver that stores bile? Second, what are the main functional cells of the liver called? Third, name 2 specific functions of the liver related to carbohydrate metabolism. Fourth, what is the role of Kupffer cells? And finally, which 2 major blood vessels supply blood to the liver? Pause and review before you continue. Ready to elevate your understanding? At the hard level, we'll dissect the liver's microscopic architecture even further, delve into complex metabolic pathways, and uncover its sophisticated roles in immunity and blood chemistry. While hepatic lobules are a good starting point, for a more accurate understanding of how liver functions are spatially organized, we look at the hepatic acinus. Imagine a diamond shape, centered around a portal triad, with blood flowing outwards towards the central veins. This model helps us understand zonation, how different functions are concentrated in different areas. Zone 1, closest to the fresh blood supply from the portal triad, is a hub for high-energy, oxidative processes like gluconeogenesis and urea synthesis. As blood flows further, cells in Zone 3, near the central vein, receive less oxygen and nutrients, making them more specialized in processes like glycolysis, fat synthesis, and especially drug detoxification, where enzymes like cytochrome P450 are highly active. This zonation allows the liver to efficiently manage its diverse tasks. The liver is a biochemical powerhouse, orchestrating several critical metabolic pathways. Take the urea cycle, for instance. It's the liver's ingenious way of converting highly toxic ammonia, a byproduct of protein breakdown, into much safer urea, which your kidneys then excrete. It's also the primary site for cholesterol synthesis, regulating how much of this vital molecule, used for hormones and bile acids, is produced in your body. And when it comes to drug metabolism, the liver employs a sophisticated two-phase system. Phase I reactions, often involving cytochrome P450 enzymes, chemically modify drugs to make them more reactive. Phase II then attaches larger, water-soluble molecules to these modified drugs, making them even easier to excrete. This complex process ensures that medicines and other foreign substances are safely processed and eliminated. Beyond its metabolic prowess, the liver plays a critical role in immunity and blood health. Kupffer cells, which we mentioned earlier, are not just simple cleaners, they're key players in the reticuloendothelial system, actively engulfing pathogens and old cells, acting as your body's first line of defense in the bloodstream. Interestingly, in a developing fetus, the liver is a major site for red blood cell production, a function it can sometimes reactivate in adults under specific disease conditions. It's also a vital storage locker, hoarding essential fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, K, and vitamin B12 along with crucial minerals like iron, stored as ferritin, and copper. Lastly, let's revisit bile. It's not just for fat digestion, it's also a pathway for waste excretion. A major component is bilirubin, a breakdown product of old red blood cells. The liver processes this bilirubin, making it water-soluble so it can be safely removed from the body. This entire process, including the reabsorption of bile salts in the intestine and their return to the liver, is known as enterohepatic circulation, ensuring efficient reuse of these vital digestive aids. Now, let's tackle 7 challenging questions. First, explain the concept of hepatic acinus and its 3 zones. Second, describe the liver's role in the urea cycle. Third, what are the 2 phases of drug metabolism in the liver? Fourth, how do Kupffer cells contribute to immunity? Fifth, Name to fat-soluble vitamins stored by the liver. Sixth, what is bilirubin and how does the liver process it? And seventh, briefly explain enterohepatic circulation. Take your time to formulate detailed answers. Welcome to the hardest level. Here, we'll push the boundaries of your knowledge, exploring the liver's intricate cellular machinery, its complex regulatory mechanisms, and its profound clinical implications. Get ready for a deep dive into advanced concepts. The liver's extraordinary functions stem from its highly organized cellular architecture. Let's look closer. The space of Debye is a critical, narrow gap between the endothelial cells lining the sinusoids and the hepatocytes. This space is rich with tiny projections from hepatocytes, called microvilli, which vastly increase the surface area for exchange, allowing for efficient communication between blood and liver cells. Residing within this space are hepatic stellate cells, or Retto cells, which primarily store vitamin A, but can also become active in liver injury, contributing to fibrosis. Another marvel is the bile canaliculi. These microscopic channels are not separate tubes, but rather grooves formed by the membranes of adjacent hepatocytes. Crucially, these grooves are sealed by tight junctions, specialized protein complexes that prevent bile from leaking into the bloodstream, ensuring it flows safely towards the bile ducts, moving countercurrent to the blood flow. This intricate design is fundamental to the liver's efficiency. The liver's vast array of functions is not haphazard, it's precisely regulated at both hormonal and neural levels. Hormones play a dominant role in controlling its metabolic activities. Insulin and glucagon, for instance, are the primary orchestrators of glucose metabolism, dictating whether the liver stores glucose or releases it into the bloodstream. Other hormones like thyroid hormones influence the liver's overall metabolic rate, while growth hormone and adrenal steroids also have significant impacts on its functions, from protein synthesis to nutrient processing. While hormonal control is extensive, the liver also receives neural input from both the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. These nerves can modulate blood flow, influence bile secretion rates, and even fine-tune certain metabolic activities. However, for many of the liver's complex metabolic pathways, the fine-tuning is primarily achieved through a sophisticated interplay of various hormones, responding to the body's dynamic needs. When the liver falters, the consequences can be severe. Understanding liver diseases is crucial. Hepatitis, which means inflammation of the liver, can be caused by various factors, most commonly viral infections like hepatitis A, B, C, D, and E, but also by autoimmune conditions or certain medications. This inflammation impairs the hepatocytes' ability to perform their vital tasks. A more severe and often irreversible condition is cirrhosis, characterized by extensive scarring of the liver. This scarring typically results from chronic damage, such as long-term alcohol abuse, chronic viral hepatitis, or persistent fatty liver disease. Cirrhosis leads to a progressive loss of liver function and can cause complications like portal hypertension. Speaking of fatty liver, or steatosis, it's the accumulation of fat within hepatocytes, often linked to obesity, diabetes, and alcohol. If untreated, it can progress to inflammation, known as steatohepatitis, and eventually to cirrhosis. To diagnose and monitor these conditions, doctors rely on liver function tests, or LFTs. These blood tests measure various markers like liver enzymes, bilirubin, albumin, and clotting factors, providing crucial insights into the liver's health and its ability to function correctly. One of the most remarkable features of the liver is its extraordinary capacity for regeneration. Unlike most organs, if a portion of the liver is surgically removed or damaged, the remaining hepatocytes can re-enter the cell cycle and divide, restoring the organ's original mass and function. This process is known as compensatory hyperplasia. It's not true regeneration in the sense of forming entirely new structures, but rather a remarkable growth of existing tissue to meet the body's demands. This regenerative ability is a key reason why living donor liver transplants are possible. For individuals suffering from end-stage liver disease, where the liver is irrevocably damaged and can no longer perform its vital functions, a liver transplant often represents the only hope for survival. This underscores the liver's indispensability and the profound impact its health has on overall systemic well-being. The liver's ability to heal itself is truly one of nature's wonders. Let's test your advanced understanding with 5 challenging questions. First, describe the space of Disse and the role of hepatic stellate cells within it. Second, explain how tight junctions in bile canaliculi are crucial for liver function. Third, elaborate on the primary hormonal regulators of liver glucose metabolism. Fourth, differentiate between hepatitis and cirrhosis in terms of pathology and clinical outcome. And fifth, what are liver function tests, LFTs, and what key parameters do they measure to assess liver health? Continuing with our final set of advanced questions. Sixth, explain the concept of compensatory hyperplasia in the context of liver regeneration. Seventh, what is the significance of the liver's regenerative capacity in organ transplantation? Eighth, outline the sequential steps of heme breakdown to unconjugated bilirubin. Ninth, describe the process of bilirubin conjugation in the liver and its importance for excretion. And 10th, what is jaundice and what does its presence typically indicate regarding liver function or blood processes? Think critically and provide comprehensive answers. And that brings us to the end of our in-depth exploration of the liver's structure and functions. We've journeyed from basic anatomy to complex metabolic pathways and clinical insights. I hope this session has deepened your understanding of this vital organ. For more such comprehensive educational content, practice questions, and interactive learning experiences, make sure to visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for regular updates and new lessons. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep questioning the wonders of biology. See you in the next lesson.